Welcome to Grand Rapids, Michigan with the Grand Rapids Fire Department. Today we're here with HME, who built Engine Company 12, a new engine coming online here in the city. It's a Core 62 2025 build. We're going to feature the engine. We're going to talk about history, culture, and the tradition of a modernized fire company taking it to the next level. So join me as we tour Grand Rapids, Michigan. So Grand Rapids itself, I mean, I know a little bit about the city coming here, several times when my daughter was in school here, but it's changed dramatically. I can assume over your tenure here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you guys have everything. You have a very congested, busy downtown with high rises.
Yep.
And then it spans out into residential neighborhoods, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Riverfront, right? There's a riverfront.
Yep. So we'll go past the Grand River here in a sec. 200,000 people and 45 square miles. As far as our mix of apparatus, we used to do low bid. So whoever showed up with the lowest price, even by $1, they got it. Now we're able to do best value. So when we go out to bid, like our latest engine is from HME, they were not the lowest bid, but we chose them because of the value that they were going to be able to provide. And frankly, the product itself, I mean, the components that went into Engine 12, you'll hear from Kevin or John later.
Sure.
It's amazing. Like it's literally the best suspension. It's the best of everything that we could fit into this. And for us, pumpers are critical. Not that truck work's not important, but for us, quick water's really what we focus on now.
Yeah.
And so we really wanted a nice heavy duty city pumper to be able to pull up and get water on the fire quickly. And one of the biggest things that we were able to do is every line is reachable from the ground. Maybe not for our very shortest firefighters, but for most of our men and women, they can stand flat-footed and touch the supply line. They can stand on the ground, touch the cross lay. It's really gonna be nice, not climbing up on some tailboards.
It's great to be able to design apparatus that are effective and conducive to the way you operate.
Yes.
And so what's really interesting, right, is where you are now with HME. I have to think too, there was a quicker turnaround from them on this engine.
Yep.
And it's also built to your spec, what you guys need and wanted in the city, correct?
Correct. Which is a very different story from our truck companies.
Yeah.
Those are stock. We don't get to choose anything. They're stock units.
Right.
You get what you get, don't pitch a fit, right? We make it work. We make it work. But it is different. It is different.
Watching what's happening here with the introduction of a new fire station, most cities are browning out and closing companies. You guys are opening a company, brand new training center. Funding is being poured back into the city. You're hiring people back on overtime to upkeep the buildings. Like, these are things that are, unheard of in so many other cities.
Oh, right. I don't take for granted how fortunate we are.
You guys are very visible within the community. You're willing to put your companies out there and to be involved in the community, which pays dividends on the back end.
I think that's why I love the fire service so much. Is it doesn't matter what your political background is, where you live, how much money you make, what you believe in. None of that matters. When you call 911, we show up and we try to make your day better. And there's not many places of employment that can say that.
Fire service has always done it right. We don't care.
Nope.
We don't care.
Less.
We don't care.
Care less.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And it's only when we try to make an issue of something that doesn't unravel, right? But at the end of the day, firefighters don't care. We don't care who you are, where you come from, what your background is.
We just want to help.
That's right. We're here to protect our community. Equipment operator, Kevin Milanowski. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
So this is cool. Engine 12, Station 12, brandy new, Grand Rapids Fire Department. There's not a lot of fire departments throughout the country that are adding companies and building new buildings. This has got to be exciting for you guys.
First station in 30 years. This is a new machine to go in it, so we're quite excited.
So coupled with the quicker turnaround time, right?
Yep.
We're looking at the must-haves that you guys needed for this rig. So what were some of those checkbox items that you had to have?
Some of the guys wanted lower hose beds. I like to say ergonomic hose bed. They wanted ladders besides the tank, a traditional style ladder body. Some did want ladders enclosed, which changed a couple things. Low hose bed was the big thing in the back. Seating came down as a factor. We used to have a 6-man cab. This is the first one we've had with just a 4-man cab with forward-facing seats in the back. That was kind of a big change.
We do have to look at how often the guys are riding in this truck. And if they're spending a lot of time, windshield time, we want to try to give them the most comfortable ride we can give them.
Yeah, the one thing with the independent front suspension and the air ride rear was ride quality. If you take the bumps out of that vehicle's going to last too longer, right? You're not jostling the doors and everything else, and the guys aren't going to be getting beat up in it, rattling their teeth. And we've had some ride quality issues over the years. We test drove a couple different brands, and we were happy with the suspension across the brands. It was just, which brand are we going to get? So, right.
Okay. Well, I'd love to do this. Let's take a walk around. We'll check out some of the components of the build, and look forward to hearing more about it. All right, Kevin, so here we are, driver's side of the apparatus. I want to talk about a couple things. Let's talk about inside the crew area first, right? The comforts, spending so much time in there, we need a comfortable ride, right? So you guys really spaced out equipment storage correctly, good line of sight, and so on. So give me a little rundown about what you did inside the cab.
So this is our first machine where we've actually taken the rear-facing seats out. We went to a forward-facing concept. We didn't have the exact height dialed in when we started this, so we went to a riser system for the seat, kind of made that a little better view from the firefighter moving forward, or looking forward. Historically, our EO and our officer didn't have a lot of storage space by their feet for their gear, so we kind of decided to give them a compartment on each side of the cab.
Right.
In doing that, went right where those seats would have gone, those rear-facing seats. So once we did that, that opened up some extra storage space in the back of the cab there and whatnot.
And so the pump module, let's talk about what you guys decided to do here.
So we went to a Waters 1,500 gallon a minute pump, which has kind of been our standard over the years. We simplified it a little bit. We got rid of a couple discharges that we weren't utilizing, and as well as some 2.5-inch intakes. We also like to keep our cross lays with the valve right below them. So this offered a simple operation for us. We don't want something that's really clumsy and gets busy.
And then the upfitting for the compartmentation, super important, right? When we're looking at the type of equipment that we're carrying on the engine company, you guys, this is a new build for you, right? You're setting the new standard, I'd like to think, right?
Correct. This is going to be, hopefully moving forward, this is going to be our standard engine, or urban city pumper, some people call it. We like to just call it our engine. So over the years, we've had trucks that just had stuff thrown in compartments, right? That's inefficient, just like anything, you throw things in your junk drawer at home and it's just full of junk, right? You don't know what you got, you can't find it easily. So we're very fortunate here. We have a group of guys and gals that on their day off do some of the upfitting. We have equipment here to do that, and it's worked out great for us.
Yeah, and the upfitting's done in-house then?
Correct. We have press brake, shear, welding equipment, plasma cutting equipment, all in-house, so we don't send anything out.
It's nice to make custom bracketry because now you can lay out your equipment. You don't have to worry about the manufacturer doing it. You can do it in-house. You control the build.
Correct. We can offer that customized bracket that maybe manufacturer doesn't understand the way we want it, right? We're firemen. We like to think we're building brackets for firemen or mounting equipment for firemen, so it works out well for us.
Nice. Well, I can tell you walking around, it's a really nice build and it's well thought out, so I'm excited. We'll get to the back step and look at that. All right, Kevin, the working end of engine 12. Let's talk about some of the decisions you guys made back here.
There was some discussion when we were trying to, figure out how much water we were going to go with. We were previously 750, wanting to get that load lower. I eventually pushed a little harder and said we want to move that front wall forward and make that hose bed as long as we can so we can get the top finished height of that hose bed done to where we wanted it. Some low hose beds end really high, and that's not what we're after. We don't want an extra 6 bundles on a guy's shoulder when he's pulling it. So.
Well, the trade-offs, right? So if we push our water up, then the hose bed gets shorter, right? And the shorter it is, the more folds we have.
Correct. The box is only so big, right? You got to get everything in our box, so it's what's going to give and what's going to go where. So.
Yeah. I love the decision-making, though, of understanding, your water supply. Understanding your water supply, how much 5-inch you need to carry, how much 3-inch you need to carry, right? And then you have your 2.5s back here, 400 foot each. So the big lines are coming off the rear. Everything else is cross-layer front bumper.
Correct.
When designing the hose, you get to understand then the divider height. That matters, right? Because you want to make a working environment that when we're re-racking hose at the end of the day, it's easy to get to.
You know, we don't want guys climbing up to the ceiling to try and re-rack hose, you know. So when we bring that finished height of that hose load down, we also brought the finished height of that hose divider down.
Yeah, and then the finish. There's not a lot of diamond plate on board.
So this body is a stainless steel body. A lot of our previous ones were aluminum. The great state of Michigan, corrosion never sleeps. So that's kind of where we ended up. We wanted a durable, cleanable horizontal surface that, you know, would look good for 10 years, right?
And then lastly, the scene lighting.
So we went with FireTech lighting on this, but we went to full 12-volt LED scene lighting. Some of our older stuff had generators on it. That's kind of gone by the wayside, so 12-volt scene lights have come a long way. In the rear, we also added a LED strip inside this channel that lights the whole rear of the truck, but is not visible from the rear. So that was a big thing for me that I liked myself. So.
Yeah, for an operator to come around or the back guy to come around, it's
I don't have to
illuminated.
turn the switch on,
That's right.
reset the brake, and it's already lit.
Yeah, good. All right, well, why don't we do this? We finished in the rear. Let's walk around the officer's side and take a look. Okay. All right, Kevin, so wrapping up here on the officer's side, let's talk about a couple things. The upfitting. On this side, you have some room to grow.
Yeah, so when we became a EMT department from NFR, we knew we were going to need some more room. So with our standard EMS complement, we went to the 3/4 height body. There were some concerns about not having enough room. So when we did that, we brought this right side up another foot. So with that roll-up door down there, then basically we have a small compartment. So by bringing it up another foot, we gained some extra space.
And then something that we're starting to see quite a resurgence of are the decon lines, the red line, the booster line.
Yeah, so we like to call it the decon line. So that is a way of getting it back in there. Everybody wants to do decon, right? So we'd like to bring the red line back, and so we've got a 1-inch booster line on this one.
Well, great, and thank you. You guys have really knocked it out of the park. I wish you tremendous success with this HME Ahrens-Fox engine. I think it's a great build, and the introduction of Engine Company 12 here in the city of Grand Rapids. It's pretty exciting to get a new engine on the road. So, Kevin, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for opening your doors, and look forward to seeing you again, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. So here we are, Chief. Chief Brad Brown of the Grand Rapids Fire Department. Chief, thanks for having us today, and Captain Jeff Lysiak. So I just want to say thank you. What a great opportunity today to really just get a look in behind the red doors, right? Yeah. And to see what the Grand Rapids Fire Department's doing. And you guys are making tremendous strides. I mean, where a lot of cities are browning out companies and going to a lower minimum staffing, right, to save costs. It seems like Grand Rapids is going all in on its fire department.
We are. So the community needs it. We have the data, we have the metrics, we know how busy we are. We also know in our community we have exposure problems, we have traffic problems, we have density, and where we used to have 1 or 2 family homes, we now have 4-story apartment buildings along our corridors. So we're just getting busier and busier. And you mentioned taking care of our people. That's where Jeff comes in this new station, and hopefully he can talk about a lot of the little design features and nuances that we put into this.
So Jeff, that's a great segue, right? Because today I've spent half the day here and walking around. You gave me the tour earlier, and we're where we are today in a modern design phase of fire stations, right? They're very, very different from our traditional sense of firehouses from the last 30, 40, 50 plus years that a lot of cities operate in. Had to be quite a learning curve for you.
Oh, it was huge because, you know, I was used to the old fire station that was an apparatus bay and everything was connected to it and you lived in a garage, right? I mean, that's how a firehouse really was.
Sure.
For the most part. So that don't cut it anymore. And it's about taking care of our people. We know what living in a garage does to firefighters. For sure. Over the years, you know, cancer has been a killer of firefighters for years. And for years it was always, you know, it was always pinned on the firefighter themselves, their lifestyle and all those other things. Well, guess what? You know, the science says...
Yeah, environmental, right?
It was environmental.
And that's the thing, like firefighting's a hazardous career and it always will be, but we can mitigate some of that hazard, right?
When we're not on the call,
it's
right?
the controllables, right?
Yes.
What we can control, what we can control, and that comes down to the environment, right?
Yeah.
You spend more time in this building than you ever spend in burning buildings.
That's right.
In a year,
Right.
and you do in your entire career, right? You spend a third of your life in this building,
No doubt.
in the fire service.
It's exciting to see a fire department that is flourishing, right?
Right.
Today we got to look at your brand new HME engine outside, Engine 12, which not only is it a new engine, it's a new engine company for the city.
Correct. Additional.
That's incredible.
It is. It is.
And then where is it? It's housed in this new firehouse that we're sitting in now, and it's just a great backdrop for a good conversation. So maybe just a little storytelling about how we got to new Kendall Firehouse.
Step one was to find a suitable piece of land. We knew we needed at least an acre. We ended up with an acre and a half here. We combined 3 parcels. It took a while. It took a while to find the right piece of land on this corridor.
Sure.
And it was a lengthy process, but as you can see, we're here now.
Yeah, and we spent a good part of the first 4.5, 5 months of getting started with all this, and it was interviewing the architects and design companies, and we went out with a big package of, and we pulled in we got a lot of response.
Sure.
And we narrowed that down, and then we interviewed, and we found the people who fit. When we walked away from that final interview, we made the right decision. It was an easy decision to make at the end of that process.
Yeah, we were talking about the importance of crew culture, right? Company culture, but this is a brand new fire company.
Yeah.
So there has not been an Engine 12 before, right? Or there has, I guess, years and years ago.
Yeah.
And now a new station, a new company. So they're going to start creating their own traditions and culture within. And I think that's exciting because the walls are blank. But I'm sure very quickly it's going to start filling up with memorabilia and memories of the beginning of this company.
There's 2 things that Jeff and I really worked on when we designed this. One is there's no dishwasher.
Right, I love it.
And the architect asked us how many times, are you sure you don't want a dishwasher? I'm like, no, we have people for that. And part of our culture is to play cards after every meal.
Right.
Chief's end, you're not exempt. And whoever loses is in the sink.
Yep.
And there's been some wrestling matches to see who can get in that sink if the chief loses or if a captain loses. But that's part of our culture. And we said, no, we don't want a dishwasher at the new station. And they're like, you guys are weird. Like, this is the first time in 20 years we haven't put a dishwasher in a fire station. So,
well, you're protecting the lineage, the storytelling,
right.
The legacy, right? All those things that absolutely matter, for sure. And I guess for me too, like walking around and getting the lay of the land here, it's an exciting place to be because when your own members see progression within the department, they get excited about it. And you look at this building, it's designed for growth also. You have a larger space that you could potentially put another company in if need be, right? So when you're talking about maybe an inclusion of another company back up on the north end. So there's a lot of things happening here. And I think that's gotta be overall the theme, the growth of the Grand Rapids Fire Department.
we're in a good spot right now. There is excitement among the ranks.
Sure.
People are talking about who's going to come down to the new station, who's going to bid here. And a lot of the older people are like, no, I don't want to leave the inner city. And then they come tour this place and they're like, this isn't so bad out there. Yeah.
I have to say this, with all the travel and places that I go to, Grand Rapids is certainly a standout in regards to the department and the growth that you're taking on and pushing your people and the ownership and the buy-in. It's an exciting place to be, and it's an exciting time for Grand Rapids Fire Department.
Couldn't say it any better.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Chief, thank you very much
Thanks,
for
man.
having me today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks a lot.
This has been a wonderful project in partnership with HME, who's a partner of yours with the new apparatus for Engine 12 outside and some future projects down the road. So it's just been a great opportunity to sit down today and really get a good look at the Grand Rapids Fire Department. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us today as we toured the Grand Rapids Fire Department here in Michigan. In partnership with HME, we got to display and talk about a wonderful department that's thriving. A brand new engine behind me, a brand new firehouse, and a progressive department that's pushing for the future. Thank you to Chief Brown, and thanks for joining us as we took this journey in Grand Rapids, Michigan.